Hey, good morning, good miracle working Monday morning. I am so grateful that you are here on this October 2nd, 2023. It is a miracle working Monday, and once again, I am Jewel Wilson Murphy. I am here with All Photos Considered, and they can meet any of your media needs. Any media needs, any podcast needs, any video needs, any media need. All Photos Considered can meet your needs. And we talked about this a couple weeks, and we're going to keep it before you. I'm going to say we're going to keep it before you until you receive that tap on your shoulder. And that tap says, if you are interested in a podcast, go ahead and let us know below, and you'll receive your first 2 podcast packages in full for free. The first 2 are free. And so we want to keep that before you, because you know how we got here. We were tapped on the shoulder, and now we are here a year and about 2 months later. And I'm glad that we are here. And so this morning, we've changed the communication. We've changed the title a little bit. I had a tap on the shoulder this morning. People will tap you on the shoulder, and sometimes you just need to answer it. And the tap on the shoulder said, let's talk about bitterness. Alexandra, thank you so much for asking. And so we are here, and we want to know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about bitterness? Have you walked in a state of bitterness where you thought somebody did something to you and you became angry, so angry and resentful toward them because you thought they said this or that, and maybe they did, maybe they hurt you unintentionally, maybe it was intentionally, or maybe they even did it and didn't know that they did something or said something to you or about you that caused you to be resentful toward them. So what I want to do this morning is kind of chit and chat about that, because that's one of those things, one of those hurts, hang-ups, and habits. I went real fast just then. One of those hurts, hang-ups, and habits that we don't talk about. You hurt me because you said this. You hurt me because you said that. I never came to you and had a conversation about it. That's in the area of communication. You know, sometimes we don't do that very well. We talked about communication a while ago and how necessary it is. But this morning we're talking about bitterness. How do you handle bitterness? Do you just take it, tuck it away, and keep it hid, and then it just continues to fester when you see that person, or when you're reminded of that situation where they hurt you? Or do you come and talk about it? Do you tell on it? Do you shout it loud enough so the whispers won't hurt you? Sometimes those whispers, y'all, are in our head. Sometimes our mind reminds us of those things that hurt us, those things that keeps us from going to that place, to that party, to that function, to that church, to that building, to my parents' house, to my sister's house, to my brother's house. What is that place of bitterness that you hold in your heart, that you hold in your head? And so what I want to encourage us to do is what I often say is talk about it. Let's talk about it. What was that thing that hurt you? What was that subject matter that was so harmful to you that made you bitter and not better? You know, we all aspire to be our best. And when we aspire to be our best, that means that we want to be better in every entity of our lives, every situation we find ourselves in, every walk we find ourselves in, wherever we find ourselves, we want to be better and not bitter. So this place of bitterness is toxic, if you will. It's like a sword that's small, and it grows and grows and grows and grows and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're the one that's dealing with it, because oftentimes the person that hurts us don't even know it. They don't even know that they can fix it. They may know the situation with you and that person has changed. They may know the communication with you and them have changed. They may know that you don't stop by like you used to, and they just don't know the why. Is it because they said something that you took to be disrespectful? Is it that they did something that you thought was just out of the league of talking about it, of saying it to me? Did somebody come back and, what we've heard growing up, bring you that bone that will hurt you, that bone that would say such and such said this about you, and you might know the conversation that you and such had, and the only person that will have information about that is that person that caused you bitterness because you heard that he or she said this and or that? Well, sometimes I just think that people may say something in relationship to the conversation that you had, but not the absolute conversation that you had. And I just believe that people need to come together and have a conversation about what it is. You hurt me, all photos considered. You hurt me because, and we need to have a conversation. I've been bitter towards you because, all photos considered, you said this or you said that. All photos considered, I'm bitter towards you because when I knocked on the door, you didn't open it, and I thought I heard you laughing in the background about me because I heard my name. All photos considered, I'm bitter towards you because, and you have to tell on it. Y'all remember, shout it loud enough, the whispers won't hurt. And so we want to bring forth this conversation, thanks to Alexandra Porter, I'm saying your name out loud, because it is a necessary conversation, a conversation that oftentimes we do not have, a conversation oftentimes that it lays dormant inside of our minds, inside of our hearts, inside of our heads, minds, same thing. But I want us to shout it loud enough. You hurt me. And that person gets the opportunity to free you and himself, even though he didn't know he was in bondage or she didn't know she was in bondage. Maybe it was a relationship that broke up, that you don't want to talk to that person ever again. But there's some conversation that may need to happen so that when you still don't have to talk to them ever again. I'm good with that. But it might be a conversation that you need to have with that person so that you can be free. You know, freedom is a thing, and it is so necessary. Freedom equals peace, and peace equals a lifelong of pleasure. And so at that point, when you're having that conversation with him or her and yourself, because sometimes we have to talk to ourselves, I want to be better and not bitter. Please, please, please make sure you comment below. I can't wait to read your comments. Like, subscribe. Let me start over. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. I am so grateful for the comments that we have. I'm so grateful that you are going to answer the call from All Photos Considered to say, yes, I want to do my podcast. And thank you so much, All Photos Considered, for doing the first 2 free. And I can't wait, again, like I said, to read what you have to say. And I can't wait to see you again next week. Remember, we have continued to talk about Black History facts. And this month, we're going to talk about those things that we celebrate. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Of course, we talk about domestic violence. Domestic violence is celebrated in the month of October. However, oftentimes, we know somebody that's being hurt and won't tell on it. Of course, we celebrate those survivors, cancer, survivors, breast cancer awareness is this month, and so we celebrate you as well. And even those who are walking through both of those, we want to be available to you if you need help. Make sure you comment below, hey, I need some information about domestic violence. Hey, I need some information about where I can get some support from for breast cancer. There's so many other things that we talk about in the month of October. Hey, if you are associated with a church, it is Clergy Appreciation Month also. Appreciate your clergy, men, women of God, those who bring forth the word of God. Make sure you celebrate them. It is a wonderful day. As I said in the beginning, it is a miracle working Monday. Make sure you walk in your miracle, and we'll see you next week.